My dear friends, today I will be discussing about cardiogenic shock. Now, what is cardiogenic shock? Cardiogenic shock means a type of shock, the origin of which is heart, or because of defect in the heart, it leads to the development of shock. And what is shock? Shock is the inadequate tissue perfusion. It may be because of low oxygen supply to the tissue or low blood flow to the tissue. There are various causes of shock. It may be because of hypovolemic, it may be because of neurogenic, it may be because of anaphylactic sepsis like this. And in case of cardiogenic shock, the origin of the shock or the main cause of the shock is because of the defect in the heart or contractile quality of the heart. Now, because of various pathology in the heart muscle or because of myocardial injury or myocardial infarction or after a heart attack, when a large area of ventricle is damaged, then the ventricular muscle is not sufficient to contract the efficient amount of blood or to pump out efficient amount of blood, and that may lead to low blood pressure, which is associated with low blood flow throughout the various organs, and which may lead to shock if it is not maintained or if it is not reversed. So cardiogenic shock means shock which is because of inadequate tissue perfusion because of defect in the ventricular contraction, or which may be associated with various causes. So if you see the various causes or etiology of cardiogenic shock, the most common cause is myocardial infarction or after a heart attack. Then beside cardiomyopathy, then arrhythmias, then heart valvular disorder, then hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy, and these are the various causes, even myocarditis also. So these are the various causes which can lead to cardiogenic shock. Now in cardiogenic shock, the heart muscle, because of any pathology or because of heart attack or damage to the heart muscle cannot pump efficiently, and that's why the cardiac output or ejection fraction is very less, and these lead to the very low systemic arterial blood pressure, and which is not adequate to perfuse various organs or various vascular beds, and which ultimately leads to shock. And it leads to most important side symptom, that is low urine output less than 30 ml per hour. There may be cold and arms and legs. There may be altered level of consciousness, and beside there may be low blood pressure and change in heart rate also. So these are the various sign symptoms of cardiogenic shock. Now in case of cardiogenic shock, the cardiac output is decreased. That is because of defect in the contractile quality of heart or because of damage to the heart muscle, but there is proper or adequate ventricular filling. So diastole is occurring normally, so there is proper ventricular filling, but output from the heart, because of defect in the cardiac output, the pumping action of heart is affected, and that's why the ejection fraction is very much less, and that's why there is low blood pressure, and that is so low that it cannot maintain the normal vascular blood supply or blood flow, which leads to shock. Because of low level of blood pressure or blood flow to the various organs, because inability of the heart to pump out the blood in sufficient amount, it may leads to the low blood flow in various vascular beds, and ultimately can leads to multi-organ damage and multi-organ failure. Now cardiogenic shock must be diagnosed very rapidly, and proper treatment or initiation of treatment and early diagnosis can decrease the mortality of the patients. So cardiogenic shock can be a life-threatening situation. It can lead to death, and most of the cases it ultimately leads to death or various complications. That's why immediate diagnosis, then coronary perfusion therapy, initiation of management of cardiogenic shock has to be started so as to prevent the mortality or save the life of the patients. Now this cardiogenic shock, if not treated properly, it leads to multi-organ failure or death also. So there are various causes of cardiogenic shock. The most common cause is after a heart attack or after acute myocardial infarction. What is happening is that after a myocardial infarction or heart attack, which occurs because of decreased blood flow to a certain part of heart, and that's why the heart muscle will die. The heart muscle will die, and when the big mass of heart muscle becomes dead or die, then remaining cardiac muscle may not be sufficient enough to maintain the cardiac output, because if the majority of the cardiac tissue is dead because of myocardial infarction, then the total contractility of the ventricular muscle decreases very much, and that's why the cardiac muscle may not be sufficient enough to, or they become very weak so as to maintain the blood pressure in the systemic circulation. And that's why, because of after heart attack or myocardial infarction, when there is a permanent damage to certain area of the heart muscle or certain portion of the ventricular mass, it leads to ineffective contractility of the ventricles, which ultimately leads to low systemic arterial blood pressure, which ultimately leads to low blood pressure and shock because of decreased blood flow to various vascular beds, and which ultimately leads to multi-organ failure. Now there is another causes like abnormal heart rhythm. So cardiac arrhythmia can also leads to cardiogenic shock. Beside cardiomyopathy, defect in the muscles of the heart, pathology in the heart muscle like amyloidosis, or it may be because of dilated cardiomyopathy, can also leads to cardiogenic shock. Beside valvular heart disease or heart valve disease can also leads to cardiogenic shock. Septal defects like ventricular septal defect, and sometimes air embolism, if there is production of some air because of decompression in the, when a person go to high altitude or in the aircraft, sometimes because of sudden decompression, air bubbles may form in the vasculature or inside the blood vessel, which may block the heart in certain part of the vasculature and leads to defect the or affect the contractility of cardiac muscle, which ultimately leads to cardiogenic shock. So air embolism sometime, or formation of bubbles in the inside the vessels when a person undergoes decompression, can lead to cardiogenic shock also. But the most common cause of cardiogenic shock is after a heart attack or after myocardial ischemia or after acute myocardial ischemia. Because after heart attack only, when a vast area of heart wall is damaged, it causes weakening of the heart muscle, and that's why the contractility or net contractility of ventricular muscle become very less, and that's why it cannot maintain the proper ejection fraction or proper cardiac output, so as to maintain the normal blood pressure in the systemic arterial circulation, which ultimately leads to low blood pressure and decreased blood flow to the systemic vascular bed, even leading to multi-organ failure. So that is the main causes and pathophysiology behind the cardiogenic shock. So once someone tell cardiogenic shock, it means the shock which is the origin of which is defect in the heart or lies in the heart. So because of pathology of the heart or ineffective contractility of the heart, the shock develops. There, in case of cardiogenic shock, there may be proper or normal ventricular filling, but ventricular output is very much less because of various defect in the heart muscle like myocardial infarction, or because of any cardiomyopathy, or because of heart valvular disease, or because of any cardiac arrhythmia. There is ineffective or very less ejection fraction or cardiac output, which ultimately lowers the systemic arterial blood pressure and decrease the perfusion to various tissues of the body, which ultimately leads to shock. So that is the main pathophysiology behind the cardiogenic shock, and the sign symptoms of the shock is low blood pressure, low urine output, even less than 30 ml per hour, then cold and clammy legs and limbs, then it may be associated with altered consciousness and low blood pressure and change in heart rate. So these are the various sign symptoms of cardiogenic shock. So we will study the sign symptoms of cardiogenic shock in another video in a detailed way. Thank you very much.